Hello to my beautiful soul tribe and welcome to my channel Roseology. So this video is the start of a series of videos I think I want to get into, and that's where I bridge astrology and numerology together with tarot. And I got this idea kind of from a request that one of you guys put in, which was actually a request to do a reading on Saturn and what it's taught us, which I am working on delivering to you guys next, so that'll be out shortly. And for the viewer that requested that Saturn video, you know who you are. I definitely have not forgotten you. It is coming, but it definitely inspired me to get a series going where we can better understand our natal charts through tarot by interpreting the energy of our natal charts with tarot cards. Okay, so basically this video is dedicated to kind of breaking down what it is that your natal chart wants you to know. So in case you're not into astrology, or maybe you are but would love more clarity on exactly what your south and north nodes are leading you towards, then this video is for you. So just a brief explanation of exactly what the north and south nodes are. They are the axis point on our Earth's moon. So these are the points where the moon's orbit crosses Earth's orbit. They are always 180 degrees apart and they are always retrograde. So now these nodes are crucial to know because they are your nodes of fate, aka they represent your destiny. So the south node is where it is that we come from, and the north node is where we are headed or supposed to be headed. So breaking it down even further, the south and north nodes can also represent our karma, because the north node and south node, they are polar opposites of each other. And anytime we deal with polarities, opposites, and 180-degree angles, we are dealing with balance. So the south node can be looked at as your past or even past life, depending on what it is that you believe in. And in your past life, there was a lesson that you encountered during that incarnation or time of your life. If you don't believe in incarnation, then the south node could just be referring to the earlier time in your life or a earlier time in your life. The north node is a lesson that you are presently encountering in this present life or incarnation. The way I explain the nodes to people normally are the south and north node, they're kind of like grade levels. So if you're in the 8th grade right now, then your south node would be your 7th grade year. And the south node is the lesson that you previously encountered, or what it is that you learned or should have learned in your most recent life. These lessons must be applied in order for you to have a successful 8th grade year. Life is just a very long, drawn out, exaggerated lesson, basically. So completing a previous lesson successfully leads to more potential of successfully completing the next lesson. So if you have a triumphant 7th grade year and learned everything you needed to, then chances are you're going to have a victorious 8th grade year, right? So that's kind of a way that you can kind of look at the nodes in a sense, is grade levels and lessons that we have encountered. Okay, so you can see the nodes as past lives or a time in your life. The south node can represent your childhood, ancestors, or karma accrued from an earlier time or an earlier life. It's up to you how you view it, but either way, these nodes have a very powerful and profound impact on our lives and how we move throughout this incarnation. So if you are interested to know what your north and south nodes are, you can enter in your information on astro.com. And the good thing about the nodes is that they stay in the same sign for over a year, so you don't really need to worry about knowing your actual time of birth if you don't know that. My north node conjuncts my ascendant, so I've had a very conflicting life as far as heading north and doing what it is that I need to do while feeling the strongest pull ever to my south node. My south node comes very easily to me, as it generally does to all of us, because we spent a good portion of our existence or of our life with a certain type of energy almost draped over us, and that is our south node. The south node is the overall energy of your previous life or that previous lesson. And that's how astrology speaks. Astrology speaks in terms of energy, okay? But if you want to reach your full potential and to break out of karmic cycles and to find true fulfillment, that is all located in your north node. And I'm pretty sure that it all sounds very appeasing, and anybody would love to sign up for that type of life. But the catch here is, because there is always a catch with the universe, there is always a price to pay. And that price is you being torn away from what it is that you know, are used to, and are comfortable with. This can be scary, this can be overwhelming, and this is very draining work to go north, but it is so worth it. So that's what we are getting to know today. So even if you don't know your north and south node placements, this reading will still give you insight as to the energy that your nodes are carrying, how they have an influence over your life, how they influence your life, and what you need to do to get to your north node, aka your destiny, aka your purpose. All right, so as always, before we begin, let me just say that this is a general reading for the entire collective. So in order for your own individual spirit to resonate with the message here today, you need to be intuitively synced into the energy of your higher self and that of this reading. To help you do that, I'm going to be offering a 60-second meditation to activate your own intuition. The first 30 seconds, there will be no crystals on any of the piles. In the last 30 seconds, I will be adding crystals to each pile. So if you are drawn to one pile without crystals and to a different pile after the crystals have been placed, then there's more than likely two different piles with messages in them for you. So this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So when you are ready to begin, take a deep breath in for 5 seconds, hold it for 3 seconds, then exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. Once you are relaxed and tuned into your own psychic knowing, we'll start that meditation right now. All right, so I've placed some crystals on each of the piles. Here on pile 1, we have pyrite. Here on pile 2, a rutilated quartz. Here on pile 3, septarian. And here on pile 4, hematite. So I'll give you guys another 30 seconds to meditate with the crystals on each pile. All right, hopefully that meditation got you intuitively synced into your higher self and the energy of this reading. If not, feel free to pause the video for some extra time. Once you are ready, you can head down to the description box or the comments for the timestamps to your pile. I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self and spirit itself for delivering such a beautiful message today. If you guys have any video or pick a card requests, feel free to leave them down below and I'll get back to them. As always, I love you guys so very much. You're such a blessing in my life. Now let's get to this reading to see what your South and North nodes have destined for you. All right, in pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So we have 3 tarot cards here today. I'm going to be reading the past, present, future, sort of like that. So this is going to be representing your South node, your present circumstances, and your North node over here, okay? So let's go on ahead and get started. And the very first card that we have representing your South node is the King of Wands. All right, so right away, your South node could be in the signs Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or it could be placed in the 1st, 5th, or 9th houses of your natal chart. I feel as though you were someone that was very self-assured. You knew who you were, where you were going, what you were doing. You were not someone that had to get comfortable living in their own skin. And I feel as though you danced to the beat of your own drum in your past life. Now, the South node doesn't always have to be about our past life. And if you don't believe in reincarnation, then the South node can represent where we came from in terms of how we were brought up. And the energy I'm seeing here is you may have had a childhood that was either very strict or you had to grow up very quickly to establish some sort of order because there may not have been a parental figure around, or there may not have been a parental figure present enough to give instruction and direction. I feel like either way you came from a past where you were very dependent upon structure and order, or you really craved structure and order because you may have been lacking it. Another thing I'm noticing about this King of Wands that I cannot escape is these 2 wands he's in the middle of. And we're doing a South and North node reading, but it's funny because these 2 wands feel very much like past, future, and you representing the present, the king representing the present in the middle here. For me, this is saying that you were someone that was very concerned with the present because you understood how big of a role the present plays. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear the crows in the background. They are very, very active today. They are talking a lot today. The crow is my totem animal, and somehow every time I'm filming, they come through and they like to just perch right outside my window and like talk all day. It's crazy. Every time I'm doing a reading, they do this. You might be able to hear them now. So for me, this is saying that you were someone that was very concerned with the present because you understood how big of a role the present plays. You understood that the present is responsible for the past as well as it shapes the future. So you were someone very dedicated to focusing on the now. And because of that, that made you very wise and I want to say very successful. So you probably had a very successful past life, or presently you may find yourself as someone that is very ambitious or very accomplished or both, okay? So let's go on ahead and check out this middle card here. This is going to be showing me your present circumstances or the energy of your present circumstances. And we have the Nine of Swords. So what I'm getting from this is you are someone that feels very stuck between where you came from and where you are supposed to go. You feel this King of Wands energy so intensely, as well as I believe you feel both of your nodes very, very aggressively. This causes you some grief because I think that you may feel disappointed with yourself or your present at the moment. You came from such a place where you were either accomplished in your past life or you put a lot of pressure on yourself early on at a young age to achieve certain goals and milestones. And because you maybe haven't hit some of those milestones yet, this card is hitting me as a wave of disappointment. Some of you here may feel very disappointed with yourself at the moment, or like you've let yourself down because you know how capable you are. But because you haven't had your physical life or present reality reflect this back to you, you may feel as though you have failed in some way, or like you aren't equating up to who you thought you'd be by now. The key word with this present card here is disappointment. But the crazy thing is I'm getting this feeling with my pile ones, as well as this may only be a few of you, but I'm also getting this feeling that you're just really hard on yourself. You expect so much. Maybe you expect too much. You may be the reason that you feel disappointed because you have such high expectations. Either this came from your past life in which you were highly successful, or from your childhood where you had big plans and massive dreams that just may have not materialized yet. And the swords represents our mind, communication, and it represents the element of air. And the element of air corresponds with the zodiac signs Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So those signs may be very prevalent in your natal chart, or you may have had some hard aspects with these signs and the houses they represent, which would be the 11th house, the 3rd house, and the 7th house, okay? So let's go ahead and check out this card over here. This is going to be showing me your north node and where it is that you're supposed to be focused on or heading in this lifetime. And we have the 5 of Swords. Persevere. That's the word that I heard as soon as I saw this card. You are supposed to persevere this lifetime. In your south node, you came from a place where you had to be a warrior and fight the world for your success, or you came from a place where you were just already born into success. So your enemy this time round is yourself, your own mind, your own doubts, and any limiting beliefs you may have. You came from a place where you were so resilient and mentally strong, or you just came from a privileged place, so you weren't scared of or worried about any obstacles or enemies. The reason you may feel plagued by your own mind, thoughts, beliefs, or fears is because it's where your north node is pointed. Your main mission this lifetime is to overcome the limitations and conditions that the world has placed upon you. Like I said, either you were a very strong warrior type in your past life, or you just came from a place of privilege where you didn't have to be a warrior, you didn't have to be strong. Things were just kind of handed to you, one of the two. But now your main mission this lifetime is to overcome the limitations and conditions that the world has placed upon you. But it's not the world that you are fighting this time, like your south node. Your north node wants you to set your sights or your target on your own mind. These limits that the world placed upon you has weighed on you in a way that you took on these limiting beliefs, and these beliefs have weighed down your potential. They've weighed down your dreams, and they weighed down your hopes. They're almost like an anchor to your potential dreams and hopes. These beliefs and conditions have turned into doubts and insecurities, and these have left you feeling stagnant or stuck in a place where you feel so exhausted just getting your brain to cooperate with you. It feels so exhausting to try and tell yourself to believe in the impossible and the impractical. You come from structure and order where you knew yourself. Apply the warrior that you once were. At one point, the world couldn't sink their poison into your veins, but this life, or in your present right now, that toxin has spread throughout your dreams, mind, and thoughts. You see with this 5 of Swords here, how his sword is coming out of the ground. It's coming out of a grave. It's coming out of his own grave, as you can see. Hopefully you guys can see if there's a little bit of a glare here. But as you can see, there's a sword coming out of the grave. He persevered. He fought. His warrior came out and said, you don't have authority over me. Even though he's in the ground, he's dead in the ground, he's in the grave, and he's still fighting. He's still saying, you don't have any sort of authority over me, not in life, not even in death. In no way, shape, or form, in no sort of capacity do you have any sort of authority over me. Your poison may have tainted my thoughts and my faith, but it hasn't touched my heart, my resilience, my fight, my warrior. That warrior is still in there. That stubborn, bullheaded fighter is you. Your past is not dead. As you can see here, that sword is coming out of the ground. That is your guides trying to let you know that that soldier is buried deep, like when you bury a body in the ground. But he or she is not dead. And these doubts, society, your own insecurities and fears are nothing compared to your strength. The mind is one of the hardest prisons to break free from, but your warrior reigns supreme over any and every enemy or obstacle that you could face, even yourself, even your own mind, even your own heart. And that's why you are feeling so stuck or maybe riddled with fear and anxiety. As you can see, they are bowing down right here with this Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords represents fear, anxiety, doubts. And basically with this Nine of Swords here, you can see that they are bowing down to this mummy under these swords. Somebody is bowing down right now to fears, to anxieties, to challenges, to hardships. This living, breathing person is bowing down to something that's not even alive. This is telling me your fears and disappointments are only there because you have given them life. Take it away, because you have the power to do that. You have that power with the Five of Swords here to take away the life that you have put into your own fears and anxieties and insecurities. Take the life away from your fears and anxieties, okay? So let's go on ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards. I'm going to be starting with this side over here. So with your oracle cards on this side, we have third house messages, candle illumination, beautiful card. Love that red. Energy, a light inside my fire divine. Energy, fill me, make me shine. Look at that. Vesica Pisces. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hopefully I am. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Look at that. And balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. Okay. These oracle cards on the left side over here, they are telling me that you knew who you were for sure. Energy and candle go together so much because fire is energy, like the sun. The sun is one of the greatest sources of energy on earth, called solar energy, you know? So fire and energy and spirit, they're all the same thing. What drives you? What motivates you? You were a highly motivated and ambitious person at one point in time. You probably still are to this day. And I knew I was really getting that. I was really feeling that very strongly. So you're probably still like that today. Then we have balance, spirituality, and practicality with the Pleiades card here that says double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity, combined with the third house messages card here. This is telling me for sure you were aligned with your purpose and who you were in your past life or when you were younger. And that's why as a child, you had such big plans and dreams and aspirations for yourself. You've always known your purpose. And I'm upset for you that the world has done everything in its power to take that light and vitality and purpose from you instead of fueling those passions, those dreams, those desires. The world has been trying to take it from you because it doesn't want you to remember who you are. And there are beings out here that can sense who it is that you truly are. Just like us in spirituality, in this tribe here, we all focus on the light and unconditional love. So many of us here are sensitive to the energies around us. Everyone is, but many of us here are tapped into that gift that we have. Well, there are beings also that are focused on draining and taking and destroying that light. And they can sense energies just like we can sense energies. Sometimes it's just sheer jealousy and intimidation because people know that you are meant for something great and they don't like being left out of the conversation of greatness, as if that's even your problem. And there are other beings that are just hell-bent on taking all of the light that they can. Either way, these beings do not want you to remember who you are, because once you do, they know that they are no match for your inner warrior or for your true light. Five of Swords, you have to awaken that warrior because, man, they are trying to keep you buried. Wow, they really don't want you to awaken to who it is that you truly are. And this makes me really angry almost. And then we have Vesica Pisces. I think I'm saying that right, but that is all about integrating your internal beings with your external being, or combining the ego and the spirit. This is why you are such a force to be reckoned with from your South Node, because you had integrated spirit into your consciousness. This is amazing. So we're going to move on to this side over here. So let's go on ahead and take a look at what you've got going on. Trust. I am safe, I am secure, in love I trust, my faith endures. Beautiful. Footprints, direction. 8th house, endings and beginnings. Look at that. That's amazing. Soul song. The ever unfolding rose cracked open. It is happening for you, not to you. What did I tell you guys? And bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Beautiful. They are really trying to keep you asleep. Many of you haven't awoken fully yet, but you being on this reading means it's happening. You are starting to wake up. You are rising like the sun does. You never died. Your warrior never died. That's how weak these beings are that have tried to keep you asleep. They couldn't completely turn you, even though they have given it their all. Even though you felt like the target of many people's anger and cruelty, you may have felt weak for being affected by others' viciousness, but you are so far from weak. You have maintained your spirit, and it was hidden away, I believe, out of protection for your own good. But now you are waking up and you are fighting back. There's this feeling of almost reincarnation for me with my pile ones. Nothing ever really dies, especially you. In ancient Kemet, which is modern day Egypt, they never invented a word for death. They actually called it westing, like when the sun sets in the west and rises again in the east. Like we have here, the 8th house, endings and beginnings. Something is reemerging for sure here concerning your spirit, and it is your warrior presence. This card here, trust, it says, my faith endures. Yes, they did not destroy you. You are sitting beneath the surface, or your fighter is, I should say. Footprints, direction. This is where you need to be headed. Ever unfolding rose. You are awakening, you guys. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about with the ever unfolding rose right here. Soul song, this card right here, this talks about vibrational frequency, or the wave that began to ripple the moment you were created by the Creator, by the Most High. We all carry our very own personalized frequency. Every living being does. And to tune back into who you truly are, which is this fearless fighter, the chant OM is very powerful because it almost calibrates your soul's antenna. It aligns your heart and throat chakra so you can live and express yourself authentically in the way that you need to. And that's exactly what this card says in the book. You can really birth your heart chakra and put it out into the world. You can birth that warrior spirit, that warrior energy, that warrior vibe. You can birth it out into the world. You can express it. You can wear it as you. Okay. So for my pile ones, I'm seeing someone that is headed in the direction of awakening their resilience and their drive, because it is so much needed for your specific journey. There's something very specific you picked up in your past life. You were once a very buoyant character, someone the world could not keep down for anything. And that's what's trying to be invoked back into your life yet again. Just like reincarnation, I'm telling you, there's a cycle here of I'm coming back out, I am reemerging. And this may be why you've gone through so much, because the universe is trying to push you into a place where that warrior awakens yet again, because your strength and the ability to withstand the world is greatly needed in this present incarnation. So fight, okay? Do not give up because of these people or because of this world. You may continue to find yourself in certain situations where you are dealing with certain people that think they can do what they want and walk all over you, because the energy of your present life is always pushing you towards your north node, and your north node is desperately trying to activate your inner strength. So allow that to happen. So that might be why you're kind of coming across the same people, the same issues, the same problems. The universe is really trying to awaken that warrior in you, and it's really almost trying to trigger it in a way. So really allow this to happen. Allow that warrior energy to come out. Allow that fighter, that soldier to come out, and don't give up. Do not give up on yourself. Do not give in to this world or these people, okay? This was a very beautiful reading for my pile ones, but this is all that I'm seeing, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self and spirit itself for coming through and delivering such a beautiful message today. I pray that you guys come back to visit me sometime soon. But until next time, you guys stay safe, be blessed, keep conquering the world, and I'll be back next time, all right? Bye. All right, in pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with your tarot cards here. This card all the way over here to the left is going to be representative of your south node. This card is going to be showing me the present circumstances that you may be encountering or dealing with in your present life. And this card all the way over here to the right is going to be showing me your north node and where it is that you are supposed to be focused in this life, or the direction that you should be heading in this life. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with this card over here to see your north node, or your south node, I'm sorry. And we have the Ace of Wands. So in a practical sense, your south node could be in the signs of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius because we're dealing with the wands, which is fire. Or your south node could be in the 1st, 5th, or 9th houses. But I'm not really feeling fire energy. I don't know why. I just wanted to put that out there in case your south node falls in one of these houses or one of these signs. I don't even like to get specific, but in case some of you guys would like to have an idea where to look, then that's what this card would be referring to in a practical sense. But I'm not really feeling fire energy. I'm not sure why. But to me, I'm feeling like you were someone that was very intelligent, very fast moving, quick on the draw sort of individual. You were very in tune with the times, with the people around you. I just feel like you were a big personality. Like you were very well known or heard of. And this could be your past life, or this could be referring to your younger years. But I'm seeing big personality, funny, exciting, bold, very bold. You were like a trailblazer or someone that loved going against the trends. And you didn't do it on purpose. It's just who you were. You didn't like to be labeled or put into a box. You also seemed like a very intellectual person, like you thought a lot, or you were very tuned in or very concerned with what mark am I going to leave on the world? What will my legacy be? That's what I'm feeling with this Ace of Wands here. I'm just not picking up fire energy. This feels like an Aquarius or Pisces sort of vibe to me here. I'm not sure why, but let's keep checking out your cards. Let's go ahead and see what the energy that you may be dealing with in your present life, in your present circumstances. And we have Death, the card of Death. Ooh. So what are you shedding, pile 2? And I'm sorry if you guys can hear the crows. Every single time I sit down to film, I just took a break from filming between the first pile and the second pile here. And I didn't hear any crows the entire time. But the second that I hit the record button on my camera, it's like they just come out. And they like to commune right here in front of my window. But I don't mind. The crow's actually my totem animal, so I really don't mind. But if you hear like a cawing or something, that's exactly what it is. But basically, what are you shedding? It's interesting seeing the staff touch the ground in this card, because in ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt, Kemet is just the ancient word for Egypt. But in ancient Kemet, in the ancient Cometian symbolism and glyphs, the staff, which represents the body, never touches the ground, no matter what sort of symbolism or hieroglyphs or glyphs you look at. When it comes to ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, the staff never touches the ground because the staff represents the body. And that's because the ancients knew that we are eternal or immortal beings having a temporary human experience. So the staff never touches the ground because we weren't rooted or grounded or cemented to this plane in reality. But here the staff is touching the ground. This is letting me know that you've lost that spark. You may feel powerless to the circumstances in your life or your reality. You may feel like this life and world has victimized you, where it's like you have no say-so in how your life turns out or in what happens to it. You may feel like you were just here going with the flow. You may wonder why or what the hell it is that you're doing here. Like there's no point or purpose. I don't know who this could apply to, but I heard the word addiction. Some of my pile 2s, you may have succumbed to addiction or substance abuse at some point in your life, and that may have contributed to the death of your vitality and feeling like you have no meaning in this life. It's almost like the staff is like another wand here, like this Ace of Wands. Before you were here with this Ace of Wands, before you were floating in the sky, you were floating above the ground, very high above the ground. In this incarnation, or at this point in time in your life, the staff is on the ground. The staff has been rooted. You may feel as though your life experiences have rooted you to one reality or to one possibility. You've forgotten who you were in the sense that you've disconnected from your own magic, your own presence. Anubis is the Neter or Netaru. He is the god of lost souls. And that's what I'm feeling with my pile 2s. Many of you may feel lost or directionless or like, what the hell is the point here? You may feel swept up or caught up in this mundane reality of school, work, family, bills, stress, life. It's like the marathon that won't end, and it's caused you to lose your vitality and your vigor. Some of you are searching for any way that you can get back to this Ace of Wands feeling here. Oh my God. That's what's happening. That's what's going on here. Wow. Excuse me, you guys, when I'm channeling, the words that come out of my mouth, they come out of my mouth before my brain catches up to them. So my brain doesn't really kind of catch up until later what it is that I'm saying because I'm in the middle of channeling. But that's what's happening here. And it's just hitting me now. You are trying to get back to this place where you feel as though you are not trapped, where you feel as though anything is possible, where you feel like you have a purpose or that you matter. You are looking for that in anyone and anything. And it's like everywhere you look or attempt to go, there's this dead end. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to my pile twos. All right, let's go ahead and check out this card to see what your North Node is trying to say to you today, or where your North Node is trying to lead you. And we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Hopefully you can see that. There's not a little glare there. Balance. I'm getting the feeling here from that my pile twos, that you can be someone who is very invested or not at all. Like either you go 150% or you don't budge an inch. You give it your all or you give nothing. And that's led to a few imbalances kind of here. This Two of Cups in reverse is telling me that your North Node is begging you to seek balance. That may be why I heard the word addiction, because addiction is the lack of balance. Because when you deal with a substance, I mean, you can be addicted to a plethora of different things. It doesn't have to be drugs and alcohol. It can be so many different things. It could be money. It could be relationships. It could be a person. It could be sex. It could be yourself. It could be really sort of anything. Addiction is the lack of balance, because when you deal with a substance or whatever it is, whatever this addiction may be, it's not just for fun. Usually it's to escape a reality, but there's no discipline in that method of coping. It's very imbalanced, and that's what leads to addictions. That's what leads to dependency. You have some people that can just drink one glass of wine or just take one shot, but someone that is in need of balance will keep going until their body literally can't anymore. And another thing I'm seeing is the symbols for male and female, or man and woman, on both of these cups in this Two of Cups in reverse here. Again, there's balance within the polarities. Having too much structure versus not having any at all. Being overly emotional versus feeling nothing. It's either I'm impulsive or I'm not moving at all. I'm practical or I'm strictly instinctive. It's the ego or it's the unconscious. There's this issue of mania here where it's either one polarity or the other, one end of the spectrum or the other, instead of balance, with there being a nice medium. You need to infuse both sides of yourself, because at this point, I'm seeing many of you being ruled by your shadow. And this shadow has no control, no discipline, and no sort of management, because it's looking for that spark anywhere and everywhere. You have to reclaim control over your polarities. You may feel torn or powerless between these two aspects of yourself, like you have no control or no say-so in which side wins or which side to listen to. Another thing I want to mention to you guys is to check out where your Black Moon Lilith falls in your chart, because there's a heavy pull to some dark stuff here, because you are looking for anything to make you feel something. So there's a potential to get pulled into a dark place, especially with your shadow running the show right now. And as well as I'm about to move on, you guys, I promise, but I just want to lastly mention that when I first flipped over this Two of Cups, I thought that these two symbols down here for man and woman, I thought these were health signs or cross signs. So there's definitely something here saying to watch your physical, mental, and emotional health, because they are kind of getting dragged along here in this journey where you are looking for anything to make you feel alive, but it may come at the cost of your health, okay? So the key here is balance, seeking support, health, and pleasure from both areas of your life, feeding both ends of the spectrum. I don't know if maybe you guys at a younger age were forced into a certain religion or a certain belief or a certain lifestyle, or you were forced to hide certain things about yourself, but it feels as though maybe now you are free and away from that. Maybe you have more freedom somehow. Maybe you are struggling to find a healthy medium between not having anyone dictating what you do, but balance out these different areas you may be exploring to find that spark, because with freedom comes, the overwhelming sense of, well, I can do whatever it is that I want. So I don't know if maybe you came from some sort of like restriction or some sort of strict time or area in your life. Maybe you just became single, maybe you just got out of a relationship. That is going from, okay, I have to be this one way, to now I'm free to do whatever it is that I want. You could have just moved into your own place. You could have gotten your own job. You could have moved into a different city, a different location, a different country, something like that. There's something where like freedom has kind of been introduced into your life life. And that could also be causing a little bit of imbalance here, because it's kind of like, now I'm free. I just want to go do everything it is that I want to do. And that can cause a little bit of an imbalance. So really make sure that you are watching that, okay? So let's go ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards on this side over here. This is kind of representing your south node side, but we're just going to read the cards and see what it is that they're saying. So the very first card that we have here is geomancy, patience, fire element, desire, creativity, by all above and all below, let me connect, let creativity flow, healing, trust the niggle, what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you, and a time for healing, again, balsamic moon, we have that word healing here again. I believe what these cards are trying to say is you can find a lot of healing and closure from your past or your past incarnation. Who you used to be was someone so full of hope, and that's been almost snuffed out for some of you. And I think that this could have to do with your third eye or your crown chakra, being that these 3-4 cards right here, they're kind of purplish, sort of indigo looking. I think many of you may have your third eye closed off, and that's mainly why and how you are having so many issues with your shadow side, because you can't see it. You're not aware of it. Honestly, when we open up our third eye, I know a lot of people like to package it as, oh, you're going to see aliens and spirits and crazy shit walking through the house, but it's actually awareness that comes with opening your third eye. That's all the third eye is. It's the ability to see past the facade of the physical realm. Your third eye used to be open, and that's why I saw you plugged into everything. As you can see in this Ace of Wands, there's energy emanating from this wand, from this flame. There's energy emanating to every part of the stratosphere. Every part of the earth is just flowing through and vibrating through the universe. It's completely tapped in. But you being here on this reading means your third eye or awareness is beginning to expand greatly. Healing and the fire element, desire, is again alluding to your shadow that needs healing to be able to satiate or appease the shadow. The shadow is not someone you want to be in a boxing match with. The shadow is a natural rebel. It's a part of yourself you want to integrate, like the Two of Cups here, and work alongside of. You do not want to try to dominate your shadow or to send it away or to scare it into hiding. Force and aggression is very counterproductive to the rebel, to the shadow, okay? You want love and acceptance to heal the shadow. The shadow became the shadow because it was forced out of the light, and that someone being, either you or the world, didn't like that aspect or trait about your being or about your personality. So the last thing that you want to do is fuel it with more rejection and more pain. You want to gently lead or coax your shadow into the light through love and acceptance. Fire element desire is telling me the shadow has been guiding you for a while now, and that will only add to your plate of stress and pressure, because the shadow, much like the ego, can only see what is directly in front of it. It cannot see the bigger picture. So the shadow will only lead you further into chaos and into confusion. You came from the light, like this Ace of Wands. That's where you need to return, not by getting rid of the shadow, but by integrating it into the light, into your consciousness, like this Two of Cups here. This Two of Cups is all about integration, mixing together, coming together. I did a reading months ago dedicated just to the shadow and shadow work, with even more info on the shadow. So I'll link that video down below for you guys if you're interested in it, because there's a lot more information on the shadow, and that reading goes very in depth with the shadow, getting to know your shadow and things like that. So there may be a message there for you guys as well. So I'll link that down below for my pile twos. And moving on to geomancy, patience, and trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? That is saying to me that your ace right here, that spark, that light has been buried or suppressed deep by the shadow. Patience and trust the niggle is saying to me that your ace right here, that spark, that light that's been buried or suppressed deep by the shadow, is trying to catch your attention now. It's desperately trying to tell you, I'm still here. Hope is not lost, but you have to lead yourself and your shadow back to me, back into the light, back to a place of hope. You're going through a huge transformative time right now, pile two. I mean massive, because the death card is a major arcana card, and it's representing your present. So you are on your way back to the light. You are following that trail and that little feeling or that little voice that's trying to direct you out of the dark. That is what that little feeling is trying to tell you. It's trying to tell you, hey, I'm over here, come back this way. All right, so let's go ahead and check out these oracle cards over here. These oracle cards over here to the right are kind of connected to your north node. So let's go ahead and see what they have to say. And the very first card that we have is Inspiration, Isis, Goddess of Magic. I ask thee to bring your inspiration to me. 12th house, escape. Look at this, you guys. What was I talking about? Addiction, substance abuse, escapism. wanting to escape your current reality. 12th house. I knew I was feeling some Pisces vibe. 12th house rules Pisces. Aura, observation. This is just one of the most amazing oracle cards I've ever seen. I love this card. Remembrance. Do you guys see this? Remembrance. Remembering who you are. Transformation. You guys, what was I talking about? Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Healing again. Third card talking about healing. And communication is key. New moon in Gemini. This is an amazing set of oracle cards here. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And we have the card of escape in 12th house here. I told you guys I was feeling some Pisces or Aquarian energy. Pisces rules the 12th house. I mentioned you wanting to escape through substances maybe, and we have the word escape here. I just mentioned you were going through a major transformation for this death card to be representing your presence, remembrance. I said you just have to remember or find your way back to the light, to this Ace of Wands, to that spark of who you are. That's what you've been looking for. That's what your shadow has been looking for. That is what your North Node is trying to lead you back to. Aura observation over here. Do you guys see? Let me just hold this card up again. Aura observation. Do you guys see how huge your aura is? How far it expands out beyond your body, beyond your physical body. It's so massive. It's not our soul that lives in us. We live inside our soul, or our energy body actually. But aura observation is telling me that a part of you is being suppressed by the other side and is observing from that other side. Like your light being or your higher self. Ever since the shadow took over, your higher self has been observing from farther away. And that's that little voice, that little feeling. That's that little voice or that little feeling that's been trying to guide you back to this place of light and balance. That little voice that you've been hearing is your North Node. That little voice is trying to lead you back to that light and is trying to lead you back to balance. Your North Node is all about light. It's all about balance. We have inspiration right here. Yes, you may be suffering from feelings of not having a purpose or not having that spark. Like I said in the beginning of this reading, you've lost that spark, and that's what it is that you've been looking for. Communication is key over here with this new moon in Gemini card that we have. It's interesting that we have the card of Gemini. I'm just holding it up for you guys. And what is Gemini? It's a sign of the twins. What have I been saying this entire reading? Your light and shadow, they're basically battling each other, right? Just like Gemini is the twins, your twins are the light and your shadow. You need to bring these two twins together. Don't choose one twin over the other because they are both one and the same. You need to integrate them through balance because they are at war right now. You are the mediator that has the power to bring both aspects of yourself together to work together to become one in a place where there's this unified purpose of supporting your highest and greatest good. Oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah, your North Node is really trying to get you to a place of balance, a place of peace, a place of purpose, a place of feeling like I have meaning here, I have a purpose here, I have a plan here, and I matter. That's where your North Node is trying to get you to realize that you matter. And usually when we're dealing with the South and the North Node, the South Node is working completely against us because we're coming from the polar opposite of where it is that our North Node is trying to lead us to. So you may have had a lot of life experiences that have really tried to beat you down and make you feel as though you don't matter. And this is where your shadows really ran rampant with that, because you've allowed that outer noise to kind of set in and to convince you that you are nothing more than your shadow, that you don't have any purpose here, but you do. You are not just your shadow, you are your light as well. And this is a very beautiful thing. You really want to integrate these two things. Your North Node right here, Two of Cups. Your North Node is all about integrating, bringing the shadow and bringing the light together. This is so beautiful. All right, so this is all that I'm saying for my pile twos. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self and spirit itself for delivering such a powerful and beautiful message today. Hopefully this also brought you guys, my pile two, some healing. I'm going to link that video down below to check out you guys' shadow, to get more information as well on the shadow. Hopefully you guys come back to visit me sometime soon. Until then, you guys stay blessed, stay safe, keep conquering the world, and I'll be back next time. All right, bye guys. All right, and pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with the tarot cards first here. This tarot card all the way over here to the left is going to be representative of your South Node. This tarot card here in the middle is going to be representative of your present circumstances and the energy that you may be dealing with now. And this card all the way over here to the right is going to be showing me your North Node and the area in which you need to be focused or headed in. Okay, so let's start off with the South Node card here. See what we've got going on, and we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I know that this is the Wands, but I'm feeling like your South Node could fall in any of the air signs. So that would be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or the 11th, 3rd, or 7th houses. I feel like your South Node has some really strong like air energy kind of to it. That's just the vibe that I'm getting. It doesn't have to fall into one of those signs or into one of those houses for this reading to resonate with you. But that's just the vibe, the energy that I'm getting with your South Node. And that could mean a plethora of different things, okay? That's what I'm intuitively feeling from this card here. But I see that you came from a past life or a past where you were aiming in the wrong direction, or you couldn't get things going in the way that you wanted them to. Maybe you had a hard start or a rough beginning in life. Maybe you had a really rough past life. I see this as maybe trying to fit in with society, or it was like every opportunity you ran into that seemed like it had some promise. You really invested all of yourself into it, but every time you got let down or it didn't turn out how you wanted, and you wanted this thing so much. You had very high expectations and you have a lot to give, or you had a lot to give, or you were just giving it to the wrong person, thing, or cause. Let's go ahead and check out this middle card here. And we have the Chariot in reverse. Exactly. All right. So I'm seeing this as you really forcing or aggressively pursuing something because you think maybe you're supposed to. It's like you may have an idea about what you want or what you're supposed to do or what life is supposed to look like. And so you pursue anything that seems like it fits that standard or that ideal. There's a lot of idealization happening here where it's like, I think, so I do, instead of being sure first, instead of receiving that extra confirmation that this is the right choice or the right person or the right direction, whatever that may be. There's this priority of maybe caring more about the picture you have in your head than if it's the right move for you or not. I care more about success than maybe what's destined for me. Doesn't matter what means I have to use to get there as long as I arrive. But this Chariot in reverse is telling me that you've committed to the wrong direction. This is really telling me that some of my pile threes need to stop moving because what was done in the past is being repeated all over again. And I know some of you are just feeling the exhaustion from that at this point. The main thing I'm getting here is you're going to have to go against the grain, whatever that may mean for you. This is a general reading, so allow your intuition to fill in that blank. Because the first thing that I heard with this Eight of Wands over here was the wrong direction. Then we get the Chariot in reverse. Again, that's alluding to this cycle of choices being made that are not conducive to your North Node. There's this repeating lesson of, oh my God, not again. Why does this keep happening? Every time it seems or feels promising or feels right, it falls through. What am I doing wrong? You're doing. That's what's wrong. In order to initiate change, you have to be disruptive or chaotic, or you have to cause chaos to move in a different direction. To get energy to move into a different direction, you have to be disruptive. Chaos for you or disruption for you would be non-movement. Chaos for you would be stillness. Once you're going in the wrong direction, it doesn't help to keep moving because you're just going to keep progressing down the wrong road. But there's something within you that feels like I have to do, I have to move, I have to go. I can't just stop. I can't just sit still. And that's what's moving you in the wrong direction. The fact that you are moving at all, that's what's pushing you in the wrong direction. There's a real need here to pause and stop so you can see the real true culprit here. So you can see where it is that you've gone wrong. Even the planets go retrograde every once in a while because they need time to stop and reflect where it is that they've come from. You're human. You're just one person. You need a change of direction, but in order to turn left or right or to make a U-turn, you have to bring yourself almost to a complete stop in order to change that direction up, okay? So let's go ahead and check out this North Node card over here. This is going to be showing me what the North Node is bringing to your life energetically wise, as well as the area or the direction that you need to be focused on in this life, okay? And we have the Page of Pentacles. You guys, what did I tell you? I'm sorry, I try to be professional, not freak out about the cards, but sometimes they still get me. But the Page of Pentacles is the slowest moving page or element in tarot. Pentacles is one of the slowest moving elements in tarot because it's fixed, it's consistent, it's constant. Pentacles is all about stability, longevity. The Page of Pentacles is a huge reversal or change of energy from the Wands and the Chariot. That is for sure. It's like the exact opposite from the Chariot and from the Wands. Your North Node wants you to learn stillness. Our South and North Node are balance. That's all they are. You've been going for so long now, for possibly several lives. And now you are in a place where Spirit and the universe want to teach your spirit how to be still and how to be calm. This is not about doing doing. This is about stillness. This is about receiving. I feel like this is also more centered around, for some of you, connecting to your sacred or your divine feminine this lifetime. Whether you are a man or a woman, the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine, it lives within us all. The scales may have been more tipped towards your sacred masculine or yang sort of energy. And yang energy is very, very active energy. It's outward. It's expansive. This life, your north node is trying to lead you into the direction where it wants you to learn stillness. It wants you to learn retrospect. It wants you to learn slowness. It wants you to learn softness, how to be more silent, how to diffuse instead of ignite. For sure, this is exactly what your North Node is leading you towards. This is amazing. And the page is someone that's a student. He's in the early stages of mastering the skill of his affection or of his focus. So this is a major, major lesson for my pile threes. And this is probably something that you're not very used to. Well, the North Node is never something it is that we're kind of used to, but it's something that we are capable of. Okay, so this is really amazing. So let's go on ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards over here. So these oracle cards over here are kind of directly related to your south node, and this side is kind of directly related to your north node, but I'm just going to read the cards and just see what it is that I get. All right, and starting off with this one on the left side, we have Oracle Wisdom. Look at that. Air element, communicating. Joy, as I do will, so mote it be. Let joy and light radiate from me. I love that. Soul craft, awesome. Star mother, how can you mother yourself? What was I just talking about, you guys? I was just talking about your sacred feminine. I knew it. I knew there was something here going on with that feminine energy. The very last one on the left side is it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio, transformation. So soulcraft. This card is incredible because this card talks about listening to the direction of your soul and how we sense the soul, but often override it with our irrational brain. But you need to trust that your soul is bringing you the most up-to-date information about which direction you need to be going in. That's exactly what the book says about this card. And we have air element communication. I definitely feel as though your south node could definitely be located in an air sign or in one of those houses to see this card here on the left side, because that was the first thing that I said about this group is I feel like your south node could have a lot of air energy, even though this is a wand card. And we have the air element card here. Oracle wisdom. I told you, you are learning right now. Your past life or some part of your past could have been this life, but you've had more of an urgency to do. But at this point in time, you are learning stillness, and this stillness is almost going to impregnate you with a lot of wisdom and knowledge, you guys. Your soul doesn't need to do right now. Right now, it's like your soul is resting this lifetime or at this point in life. Before, it was all about tackling giants and making these power moves. Now it's about leveling up through the mind. Air element. Air element represents the mind, communication. So right now it's about leveling up through the mind, through knowledge and wisdom that can only be gained through stillness. We cannot and will not learn anything when we are moving 100 miles per hour. It is impossible. There's too much going on. You have to slow down like the page here to listen, to observe, to learn, see, and take in. It's time to release negativity. Right here, full moon in Scorpio. I'm feeling like for many of you, this negativity is more so your reluctance to go north. You have to release your hold on the direction you want to go in. You have to release that hold that you have on that south node where you just want to do and go. You have to allow this disruption of movement to take place. That's how you will transform, like the moon in Scorpio here. That is why you have the full moon in Scorpio card here. Scorpio is ruled by the planet Pluto. Pluto in the 8th house, the house of death. Death is what? Death is a disruption of life. Death disrupts life so it can move on to the next phase, okay? And star mother that we have here, how can you mother yourself? I'm telling you guys, it's like your soul called in for a timeout and said, hey, I need to not do. I've been doing way too much for far too long. Now it's time for me to kick my feet up, relax, and soak up this divine feminine that attracts success, abundance, wealth, and prosperity. The divine feminine doesn't do to receive anything it is that she wants. She attracts instead and gets the same exact results as the divine masculine, but with much less movement, with much less force, and with much less labor, okay? So let's go ahead and check out this right side over here to see what you guys have going on with your North Node Oracle cards. The very first one that we have is safe travel. Keep me safe and let me roam far away, but bring me home. Okay. Pisces, I believe. That's funny. Handwriting, authenticity. Had an extra card on this right side. We have soul love. and then alignment. And the very last two cards that we have is the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You guys cannot with the cards. I really seriously cannot. And then adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. What did I say? This is amazing. This is why I love the oracle cards, because they really do come in and kind of like clear up and confirm everything that we were feeling or getting with the tarot cards here. So what I'm getting with the right side over here, we'll start with adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Yes, we know. Adjustments are definitely required. We know this. Like I was telling you guys, disruption of your current path or progress is needed right now. Safe travel is telling me you are so not used to stopping at all. You're used to going and dancing with the divine masculine. This new way of doing things is definitely going to take some adjustment, but I guarantee my pile threes, when you learn how to start attracting instead of doing, you may end up preferring that method of attracting because it's less external labor involved. So safe travel is just letting me know this is something that you are so not used to. This is something that's so far away from your south node and the energy it is that you are normally used to. But that's okay, because keep me safe and let me roam far away, but bring me home. You are still you. You are still going to return back to center, to who it is that you are. You are still going to end up at the same destination. You just have to shake up a few things. Adjustments are required, right? Soul love and alignment. This is exactly what the universe is attempting to do for you right now, is to balance the scales. The universe is really working on elevating your soul to a huge purpose that I believe is coming up later on in this life or in your next life, because you are going in the complete opposite direction of where you've been headed, or you're being asked to completely stop moving right now, just stand still. And the universe makes no mistakes, okay? If the universe is telling you to stop what you've been doing and to go in the opposite direction or to go in a different direction, it's because the universe wants you and your consciousness and your knowledge to span across both ends of the spectrum. Spirit wants you to master not just the divine masculine and not just the divine feminine, but it wants to teach you complete mastery of both polarities. This is very, very big. The Age of Light, you've been training for this for lifetimes in Pisces, I believe. So we just came out of the Age of Pisces and are now entering to the Age of Aquarius. Everybody has a different idea about when the Age of Aquarius began or starts or whatever the case. But you've been training for this for lifetimes. This is what I'm saying, you guys. You've been gearing up for some sort of huge move over the course of lifetimes, or majority of your life if you don't believe in reincarnation. And what the universe is preparing your soul for is huge. This is what your North Node is focused on right now. Your North Node is focused on you completely mastering who it is that you are. And Pisces is ruled by Neptune, who is a highly feminine sign and planet. So you really need to get in touch with that divine feminine. This is all about mastering the divine masculine and the divine feminine. This is all about mastering both polarities, both ends of the spectrum. There is a huge amount of knowledge and wisdom that the universe really wants you to gain through this lifetime. That is why you are being asked to go in a different direction or to completely stop right now, because the universe is trying to almost impregnate your being with all this different knowledge and wisdom that it has never been exposed to before over the course of your being, of your soul's existence. You've never been in this direction before yet. So this is a vast amount of knowledge and wisdom that you need to gain right now. And there was no way for you to learn that with you going 100 miles an hour, okay? So this is what your North Node is centered on right now. There's something very, very big gearing up for your life, or possibly your next life even. But it is like the card says here, the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. This is something that's been spanning over a very long time now, okay? And the universe is just preparing you. It is gearing you up for this amazing job it is that you have. It's something that just seems very important, very significant, okay? So this is all that I'm seeing for my pile threes. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self and spirit itself for delivering this beautiful message today. Hopefully you guys come back to visit me sometime soon, but until next time, you guys stay blessed, stay safe, keep conquering the world, and I'll be back next time, all right? Bye, guys. All right, and pile number 4, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with your tarot cards here before we move on to your oracle cards, obviously. This tarot card all the way over here to the left is representative of the energy that the South Node brings to your life. This middle card right here is representative of your present circumstances, or the energy that you may be currently encountering. And this card all the way over here to the right is going to be showing your North Node and the pull or influence that it has in your life right now, and the direction it is that you should be looking towards or heading towards, okay? So let's start off with this card over here to see what your South Node is. And we have the Two of Swords. Okay, so I see your most recent life life or earlier in life, if you don't believe in reincarnation, you felt a very heavy pull between your north and south node. I'm getting here that you knew you had something to do, or you always felt you had a purpose here, but you were blind to it. Just like how the woman here in this card, she's blindfolded, as you can see. This lets me know that you felt pulled in two different directions, and it was very, very strong. You couldn't see or hear these polarities, but you can sense and feel them very strongly. You knew you had a job to do here, but there was something or someone that threw you completely off course. It separated you from your path in a way. I want to say you got distracted almost by the things that you encountered here on earth or in this life. I just feel like you came here with a mission, like almost underestimating Earth or this physical plane. Or if you don't believe in reincarnation, then you underestimated your ego. You underestimated your desires. You underestimated temptation and just how seductive the wrong direction can be. And this is something you never expected yourself to do. It's like there's a decision or something that's been made for many of my number 4s, and you never expected yourself to make that decision or to be tempted or to get distracted or to get thrown off. And it's like now you're in a position where you are torn between, what do I do? I know that this isn't right, but it feels right and I'm very torn. I really like this or love this person, place, thing that isn't meant for me. And many of you know that decision, choice, or action wasn't in alignment with who you are and what you see for yourself, but you really did underestimate this other option. Like this thing really has you. And so at first you had your sights set on this one target or this one focus or goal, but it's like now you are contemplating how you can have both. I feel like my pile 4s want both, like you want it all, but you don't want to have to choose to leave one or the other behind. And look at this. I didn't even notice this right here until right now, but there's a moon in the middle of these two swords, and the north and south node are the axis points of the moon. It's really funny because that's what this reading is about, but again, it's further confirmation that you were torn between your purpose or your north node and something or someone else. I'm feeling like your south node was in or has the energy of a water sign, so that could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or the 12th house, 4th house, or 8th houses. Now, this doesn't mean that this reading does not apply to you. If you've been intuitively led or drawn to this pile, it does not mean that if your south node doesn't fall in one of those signs or one of those houses, it doesn't mean that this reading doesn't apply to you. That's just the energy that I'm picking up from this one card, okay? So let's go ahead and check out this middle card here. This is going to be showing me your present circumstances. And we have the Ace of Chalices, which is the Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah. So this one option or this one thing is not enough for you. The Ace of Cups is about self-love, creativity, emotional peace. In other words, it's about fulfillment. To see this in reverse tells me that you are wrestling with how can I have both? Just this one chalice or this one cup is not enough to fulfill me. I want more. I want both. I want it all. I'm torn between these two things because I know my purpose and I can hear my purpose calling me, but my heart is over here. My heart is elsewhere. My soul wants to go there, but my heart is right here. It's right here in the now, in this moment. What do I do? How am I supposed to say goodbye? How am I supposed to move forward without this thing or person? And I'm not going to lie, I feel like for many of you, this is a relationship or a person possibly. It could be romantic, it could be friends, it could be family. But either way, I see you found a sense of home and comfort with this person or relationship or thing. You found comfort in this, but you were supposed to expand beyond this. I knew I was feeling like your south node was in a water sign. I'm really feeling like your south node for many of you could be in Cancer. That's just the energy that I'm picking up. It doesn't necessarily mean that your south node is in Cancer, or if it's not in Cancer, then this reading doesn't apply to you, but it just really feels that. It just really feels like Cancer 4th house energy to me. It feels really, really strong. It's the comfortability that I'm feeling is the hardest thing for some of you to part from. It's that feeling of going it alone, but it's this feeling of separating from something that makes you feel so safe in the world. And that may be terrifying or overwhelming for you. It may feel scary, like I just found my footing. I just stepped on solid ground by finding this person or this group of people or this thing. And now I'm supposed to say goodbye. And if it's your family, then this is your your soul saying, I don't want to part from this tribe, from this community, from this home. Your soul, my pile fours, is longing for a home so much. So it finds people or places or things that make it feel as if it's discovered that sense of place or belonging, that sense of home. Because your spirit is aching from missing its own soul family, its own soul tribe. But you came here on a very specific mission, and that requires going it alone and learning how to become your own security, okay? My heart is breaking for your spirit right now because it just wants to feel at home somewhere. It just wants to feel safe and secure. That's all it wants. It has such a high vibration, your soul does, I'm feeling. It's not very fond of this realm, this place, this world, this society. This world is too wicked or something for the frequency that you naturally inherently operate on. So your soul really clings to anything that feels safe and good and is vibrating on a high frequency. Wow. That's what I'm really kind of picking up with your spirit. Like, it's missing its soul family. It's missing where it came from. So let's go ahead and check out this card over here to see what your North Node wants to say to you today, what direction you should be looking towards or heading towards energetically. And we have, look at this. We have the Nine of Wands. Exactly. You have to leave the nest. You have to leave the bubble, my pile fours. You have to leave that place of comfort. That's what your North Node is trying to do. Your North Node is like that person that walks in the room and rips the blanket off of you, and that cold air just like hits your body in the morning. This is what your North Node is doing. It is ripping or almost tearing you away from your own comforts and security, because playing it safe never pays off big. It helps you to avoid a lot of things, sure, when you're playing it safe, but it's like, if you never leave the house because you have social anxiety, for example, yeah, you avoid people and whatever it is that you might be afraid of, but you go nowhere. Your life goes nowhere. It just stays still. Security can be debilitating if we grow so congenial or comfortable that we shelter ourselves from progress and from movement, okay? Your North Node wants you to be bold and to take risks and to be daring. Your North Node wants you to roam, explore, experiment, fail, get hurt, try again, make an ass of yourself, and have a few laughs in the process. I was feeling like that, but now that it seems confirmed by this card, I'm going to say it. I think many of my pile fours are new souls to this earth, to this place, to this realm. That's what I was saying when I kept repeating how you underestimated this place, this realm, and this world. You had no clue what you were signing up for. So it's like that new kid that starts a new school, especially if you're shy or you're just a really good-natured person, you're going to be a little cautious and a little sheltered, maybe even a little afraid, because you don't know what to expect. You don't know what sort of people you're around. You don't know what sort of energy you're encountering. But I see your North Node here saying, I want you to get a little dirty. I want you to see what this world and life truly entails. Your North Node wants you to have this full human experience. It doesn't want you to miss out on anything by being sheltered, because there's some amazing ground that you can cover on your soul's journey and evolutionary process here in this incarnation or at this point in your life. If you don't believe in reincarnation, then I'm seeing you've entered into a brand new phase of life that you've never experienced before. Like maybe you just had a baby, maybe you're pregnant, maybe you just got married or moved abroad. There's some sort of huge change or transition. There's some sort of newness here that you're currently going through that your soul really wants to learn from, or your North Node does. But your spirit and you may be a little overwhelmed right now, so you may find yourself clinging to anything that feels safe, secure, and constant, okay? So let's go on ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards here to see what else it is that your South Node and your North Node want to say, okay? So the oracle cards on this left side over here, they're kind of correlating or connected to your South Node, and the oracle cards on this right side, they're kind of connected to your North Node. But I'm just going to read the cards as they are and just intuitively channel them like I do every reading. So the card that we have on the left side here is Thunder and Lightning Power. Wow. This is such a powerful card. I've never seen, this is my first time seeing this card from this deck. So the next card that we have is Sixth House Routine, Healing, Candle Flame, Burn This Hour, Bring to Me Your Healing Power. You are the universe. Such a beautiful, beautiful card. This is beautiful. The Great Gathering. Look at this, you guys. The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits. Soul Tribe. I was just talking about your soul family, your soul tribe. And the very last card that we have for the left side is Do Not Let Your Past Hold You Back, South Node. Exactly. Let me hold that still. Because you guys, maybe you didn't see it because I was waving it around. We've got some gems in here on this left side over here already. The Great Gathering. and you are the universe are throwing me the same hardcore vibes here, that you are a new soul that comes from a large soul family or a large soul tribe. But your tribe that you're from, you guys operate at such a high vibrational frequency. I feel like when you came here to Earth, to this planet, to this realm, to this incarnation, to this human body, I feel like you didn't know there was a species of beings out there that could operate at such a low level. And so this realm is a huge culture shock to you. Like, culture shock isn't even the right word. You're like going through dimensional shocks or something where your vibration and your frequency really took a hit when it got here. And you've been trying to recuperate ever since arriving here at this place or time in your existence. And then we have the card of healing. So yeah, you were trying to stay on course to your purpose, but this realm really threw you off. It's a lot for you to digest and adjust to, because like I said, you inherently operate at a high frequency. So the frequency, the vibrations of this realm feel very, very foreign to you. Thunder and lightning power is again confirming you operate at a high frequency. So your spirit is very strong or powerful. I feel like this card could also be saying that you may experience sometimes, walking into a room and maybe the lights flicker, or maybe the TV goes in and out, or maybe electronics, they make it really wonky around you, and they may trip out and stuff, or turn off, or stop working entirely. If that happens to you, it's because of who you truly are and where you come from. You are a high vibing spiritual being that has a lot of power. This realm is almost weak in a sense to you. You probably find yourself, I'm sorry I'm laughing so much with this pile, but I keep getting this visual of you looking at the state of the world, at the state of this world and this realm, and us humans. And I feel like you almost look at us humans as like, you guys are so behind. This is hilarious. I feel like you guys, I feel like you look at us humans and think to yourself sometimes, like, this is what you guys care about. Like, a lot of the things that go on here on Earth, you may look at it and go, this is so trivial, or this is such a waste of time and energy. Like, what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with this place? And then we have sixth house routine here. This is telling me that you are a being of service right now in this present incarnation. Confirmation again. The sixth house is the house of Virgo. Virgo is the virgin, and Virgo the virgin, she was a temple maiden that devoted her entire life to her God and to serving her God and to serving that cause. This is confirmation to me again that you came from somewhere far away from this place and you operate on a high frequency. The only reason why you are here is because you volunteered to. There was a mission or something that needed to get done and you volunteered to come here. But like I was saying with this Two of Swords here, you came here blinded to what this place truly was. And then we have the actual South Node card on the left side of your reading, and these oracle cards are kind of connected to your South Node. So it's interesting we got the South Node card on this side. But basically this card saying South Node, don't let your past hold you back. Just like I was saying, the place you come from, it's like that, the place you come from, the only way I can think to really describe it is it's almost like that amazing ex that got away, right? And so every relationship afterwards, you keep comparing to your ex. And so none of your current partners can equate up to what it is that you had. And that was just an example. But that's how I see your soul metabolizing this human experience. It keeps comparing its original home to this realm and seeing things as where I come from is nothing like this place. Where I come from is so much better than here. So no wonder why you are clinging to anything that feels good, because anything that feels good is operating on a high frequency, and high frequencies make you feel at home once again. But you cannot allow where it is that you come from to impede your evolutionary process any longer, okay? So let's go on ahead and check out these oracle cards all the way over here to the right. And the first card that we have here is Strength. Strength, ability in this hour, endurance, stamina, I empower. Black Moon Lilith, mystery. Look at that. Oh, wow. Palmistry, interpretation. And then these are two cards right here. And we have Soul Journey. Look at that, you guys. And look at this one. There is only light. There is only light. And the last two cards we have is Take a Break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. And Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. That's funny. Okay, so don't let pride get in your way. New full moon in Leo is clearly talking about the pride of where it is that you come from. How I was saying you compare this home to your original home. And strength, which is much like this full moon in Leo card, you have to keep your strength and endurance high to be able to tolerate this plane, because it is so different from where it is that you come from. And then we have palmistry, interpretation. This must be one of your missions. You are trying to understand how and why the realm or earth works the way that it does. You are trying to interpret or comprehend why the beings here are the way that they are and how they operate on such a low frequency. It almost feels like, in a sense, that you're here like spying on Earth or taking notes of what it is that's happening down here. You volunteered to come here and check things out, something along those lines. Like this reading got spicy real fast, huh? And moving on to Black Moon Lilith. This is a very interesting card because, like I said, you underestimated the temptation here and just how seductive your desires can be. Black Moon Lilith, she is the apple from Adam and Eve. She is the ultimate temptress. She knows you so well. She knows what you want, what you desire, what you fantasize about. I mean, she is the mother of temptation, of all temptations. You do not want to bite into Black Moon Lilith because she's like a spiral or a spell of temptation that is really, really hard to break away from. But you bit into the apple and now you're finding yourself really stuck in the middle. You didn't know. You just simply did not know that temptation could be so strong. And take a break. Yeah, this for me is telling me this pull that you're feeling is taking a toll on you, and you have to be really, really careful with yourself because you are already feeling fragile and exposed because you had to deal with that huge drop or change in frequency. So you being hard on yourself for biting the apple or taking your Black Moon Lilith for a ride is really eating away at a part of you. Some part of you may feel like you shouldn't have done something that you did. Like I was saying earlier on with this Two of Swords. And then we have Soul Journey and there is only light. What was I saying? You are a light being that may feel tainted or damaged or maybe even corrupted by this place or by your past, but you are not. There is only light is coming to tell you that your light is still here and is still shining bright, and your soul family on the other side is still rooting for you. You haven't let anyone down, so don't take it on as such. Don't feel as such. And Soul Journey, like I was saying, like I was telling my pile fours, your North Node wants you to get just a little dirty. Your main purpose here is to soak up all of this life because you are a light being. If anyone can soak up all this realm has to offer and can still remain uncorrupted, it is you, because you are a being of only light. Oh my God. This is a part of your journey, and I am loving this reading for my pile fours. This was really fun to do. This is all that I'm saying for my pile fours. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self and spirit itself for coming through and delivering such a beautiful message today. Until next time, you guys stay safe, stay blessed, keep conquering the world, even though that's what you're sent here to do anyways, my pile fours. I'll be back next time, all right? Bye, guys.